Okay, in this video I will try to explain the verse in min şeyin illa indena hazainuhu ve ma nunazziluhu illa bi kaderin ma'lum. That means in English, there is not a thing but its sources and treasures inexhaustible are with us, but we only send down thereof in due and ascertainable measures. Yes, this universe is a palace, and there is a city in this palace, and this city suffers from the upheavals of constant destruction and reconstruction, and there is a also within the city. There is a country. There's a country, and this country is being continuously agitated by war and immigration, and within this country there is a world which is unceasingly revolving between death and life, but such an astonishing balance and equilibrium and equilibration prevail in the balance in the palace, city, country, and world we mentioned now, that itself evidently proves that the transformations and incomings and outgoings apparent in their innumerable beings are being measured and weighed every moment on the scales of a single being, one who sees everything at the same time, and supervises the whole universe. Otherwise, if causes had been free, and these causes try to destroy the balance and overrun everything. Also, if you think a single fish laying 1,000 eggs and a single flower produces maybe 20,000 seeds, and with the violence of chance and the elements of flowing in floods, and if we refer all this to aimless and purposeless chance, anarchic blind forces, and unconscious dark nature, the equilibrium of beings and balance of universe would have been so utterly destroyed that within an year, maybe within a day, maybe within a moment, and the atmosphere would have been poisoned with noxious gases, and also all the seas would have been filled with wreckage in total disorder and confusion, and also for the earth it will be a swamp, and the world would have suffocated. Thus, everything from the cells of animate body, the red and white corpuscles in the blood, the transformations of minute particles, and the relation of the body's organs, and to the incomings and outgoings of the seas, and the birth and death of animals and plants, and the destruction of autumn and the reconstruction of spring, the duties and motion of elements and stars, and the alternations, struggles, and clashes of death and life, light and darkness, and heat and cold. If you think very deeply, they are ordered and weighed with so sensitive a balance, so fine a measure, that human mind can nowhere see any waste or futility. Just as human size observes everywhere and demonstrate the most perfect order and beautiful symmetry, Indeed, human science is a manifestation and interpreter of that order and symmetry. And our ship, let's think our ship that is globe of the Earth, which is one of the planets. It travels in orbit at the very high speed, and it is not scattering or shaking the things stored up and stacked on its face, despite in its extraordinary speed, or not throwing them off into the space. If its space had been increased a little or reduced just a little, it would have thrown all its inhabitants off into the atmosphere and scattered them through the space. If its balance was to be destroyed for a minute, or even a second, it would destroy the world. Also, let's think the compassionate balance on the face of the earth now. On the face of the earth, of the births, deaths, and lives of 400,000 plant and animal species, it shows a single, just and compassionate one, as clearly as light shows the sun. Especially, let's think of the members of the species, the members and faculties and senses of a single of the innumerable members of the species. They are related to each other with so fine a balance and equilibrium that their balance and mutual proportion show an all-wise and just maker. Also, let's think about cells and blood vessels in the bodies of animals, and the corpuscles in the blood, and particles in the corpuscles. They have such a fine, sensitive, and wondrous balance that itself evidently proves that they are being nurtured and administered through the balance, law, and order of a single, all-just and wise Creator who holds the reins of all the things. The wise Creator, all just and wise Creator, who holds reins of all things, has the key to all things, for whom nothing is an obstacle to anything else, and directs all the things as easily as a single thing. If someone who does not believe or deems it unlikely the deeds of man will be weighed up on the supreme scales of justice at the last judgment day, notes that carefully this vast balance, and this I call it visionable faith, and he can understand by his own eyes there will be big judgment day because of this highly minded and very carefully balanced. And the universal, let's think of three names together now, and as the universal wisdom of the universe, which is the greatest manifestation of divine name of all wise, turns on economy and lack of waste. And everywhere you may observe this. Also, you just think your body, there is nothing is unnecessary, even organ, even if you think about a cell or even a particle, there is nothing is unnecessary. It's lack of waste, because you are made by an all-wise one, and it commands fragility. And the total justice in the universe, through the universe, proceeding from the greatest manifestation of the name of all just, administers the balance all things, and all the equations in physics and chemicals, maybe in science, may be explaining, may be written on the mat, coming from the manifestation of the divine name of all just. And the cleanliness and the purification proceeding from the name of most holy cleans and makes beautiful all the things, all the beings in the universe. So long as man's dirty hand does not interfere, there is no uncleanliness or ugliness in anything. So now we understand on the other videos, on the other names of God. God wants to make himself known and loved, and he wants to display his perfection and make himself known and loved. So if you think about these truths by your which you can see by your eyes through the universe, these are mercy, favor, justice, wisdom, fragility, and cleanliness, which they are coming from the names of God, just like all wise, just like most holy, just like all just. If they are, if there is no resurrection and no hereafter, and these truths will be transformed to their opposite meanings, and by this way, he makes himself, God makes himself known as opposite meanings of these truths. So what is the meaning to show all truths all through the universe on the face of the earth in our daily life? But of course there are much easier ways to be known at the opposite meanings without showing justice and balance. You know, we understand before human being on the earth, there is also great balance and justice and grand equilibrium all throughout the universe. God always display his perfections through all through these truths. So it is so meaningless that if there is no resurrection and no hereafter, God makes himself known as opposite meanings of these truths, which we see now on the face of the earth and throughout the universe.